Yes, I'm letting the energy move through me. Mama Gaia, go ahead and take whatever needs to be taken from this. But then I got mad again. Haha, I know I'm that girl, but I get so jealous. Okay. 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 Pa pa pa. Pa pa pa. Go 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 go. Go 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 go. Yeah. Okay. Go. Go go go. Go ahead. Okay. Boom 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 boom. Hold on. Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Oh. This is so good, Wendy. Okay, hold on. Bleh. Bleh. This is so good. Bleh. Yeah, this is a collective energy too. A lot of people are experiencing this right now, and we just don't know how to address it or talk about it or get it out. But hold on. Hold on. Let it go. Don't even hold it together. Don't hold it together. Let it be messy. Let it be messy. Okay. There we go. There it is. Yeah, not the norm. You felt freaked. Okay. Here we go. Oh my God. There we go. Okay. This is so good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so excited. Okay. There it is. There it is. Let's let more of that energy move out the way before we start talking. Hey, Mothman. So, Wendy, I'm going to let more of this energy move through me to Mama Gaia, so that way it can be transmuted, and then I'm going to be able to talk about what's happening and what's going on. But we got to get the energy out of the way first. We have to clear the space, Wendy, so that way you're able to receive what we're talking about and clearly be able to hear what's happening without static. Clearly, so you can clearly hear what's happening. Amen. There's also a lot of people in the room who I feel like will understand. There's a lot of people who I feel like will understand this conversation and the depths of it, and will be able to tie it to their realities and their situations uniquely. I feel like this conversation will help out so many. Okay. Good job, babe. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, not knowing where to start, but having to make a choice. So this is the thing. Sometimes you don't know where to start in a relationship, but you got to make a choice. Because just standing there staring at each other ain't doing nothing. Okay, Wendy, that's one. Sometimes you got to know that there is no perfect place. There's no right or wrong choice as far as where to start in a relationship when you're talking about a disgruntled situation. Ooh. And so you might not take a start at all, and you might just kind of stare at it. And the best thing to do when you don't know what to do next is to make a choice. And you will feel in your body whether or not that step is correct for the next step. Prime example. If somebody was handing you a knife and they hand it to you with the blade in front, and you were like, I don't know if I should grab it like that. I don't know if I should tell them to turn it around and give me the handle, or if I should just grab the pointy end. And you may be like, I don't know what what to do. Because maybe the person handing you the knife is your mother. And you're like, I'm supposed to trust her. I don't want to question her because I'm supposed to trust her and trust that she has my best interest at heart. So maybe I'm just supposed to grab the pointy end and I shouldn't ask her to give me the other side because why are you pointing it at me like that? And so then in your body, you start to feel this resistance. And then you start to feel this tension. Then you start to feel this freak out. Like, I don't know what to do next. It's my turn. It's my turn to do the thing. Like you feel in your body that it's your turn to respond. Right? So the movie can continue. It's your line. And you're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. And so then you might be like, fuck it. Let me just grab the pointy end. And as you reach, your hand is like, I don't want to do that. You could feel your hand like, no, I don't want to do that. You could just feel it in your body. And so you're like, well, clearly that's not it. So then let's do the next thing I thought of, which is, let's do the other thing that I was also thinking of. Mom, can you turn the knife around and give me the handle? And then let's say she goes, so how do you want me to do that? You want me to grab the pointy end? And then you go, okay, that's not how I was expecting this moment to flow. And then from there you get an idea. And then you're like, well, no, hold the handle like this so I have enough room to grab the handle too. And then she's like, oh, okay, cool. So as opposed to giving it to you like this, she gives it to you like that. And then you could grab this end and great. Hey, Riri. And ironically, this is the swords. Imagine that's the swords card. So how funny is that? Okay. Nice to see you too, babe. Now, you want to give me some money? Haha. You want to give me some money? You want to give me some money, girl? Ooh, you want to give me some money? Ooh, you want to give me some money? You want to give me some money? Me at work. Amen. Hey, Kim. And so, Wendy, what's happening here? You want some of my dollars, honey? LOL, you know I got you. Oh my God, yes, girl, I do. Okay, I got 75. If you could send $75, that would be cute. That would help me out greatly. Or anything close. Amen. Okay, thank you so much, babe. Woohoo, yay! Go money! Go monies! Monies was like, ask her. I was like, okay. Okay. And so, Wendy, when it comes to your relationship, you're in a pickle. She's a reflection of me wanting to say yes to the 145, but I couldn't, but this worked. Amen, period. Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Like you guys literally are just mirrors of each other. Like, boop, I got this part, you got that part. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Okay. So Wendy, in your relationship right now, you're being presented with an opportunity. You are already questioning whether or not you want your partner. You're already questioning that. But you've questioned that before. You've questioned that before. This isn't your first time questioning whether or not you want your partner. You also asked me to talk about abandonment. In this moment, there's an opportunity for you to abandon. It's more of, I want to open it. Okay, perfect. Do you want to open the relationship? Thank you for that. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you for the clarification. That's that too, though. Okay, so Wendy, we have a couple things here. Let's slow down. One, Wendy, there's an opportunity for you to choose to abandon the dynamic of the relationship that is already current and present, meaning a monogamous relationship, not open. You also have the opportunity to abandon the relationship, walk away. I don't want to be in this. I don't know if I don't want you. I'm questioning if I even want you. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone if I got to question whether or not I want you around. Let me just go. Then there is the opportunity. Then there's the opportunity to abandon yourself by choosing to not do anything at all and just letting it be. And thank you so much, Reed. Thank you. Ashe. Amen. Very grateful. Then there's the opportunity to abandon yourself by not doing anything and letting the decisions kind of make themselves, right? You said you felt like Santa Muerte asked to pretend he died, the old version. Who would cheat? He didn't, but I felt some intent. Okay. Thank you so much, Ree. I appreciate you, babe. Thank you. And so, Wendy, when we're talking about abandonment and when having abandonment wounds or having the abandonment wound, sometimes it puts you in a position where, okay, perfect, Ree, because we're going to have a real good talk. This is a real good talk we're having tonight about relationships. And so in this moment, you felt like you needed to be punished for making mistakes in the relationship. Okay, that's a whole other situation. That's a whole other thing. Now, that's a whole other thing. So, Wendy, let's first say this, because I know, Wendy, your energy, Wendy, we saw it show up earlier when I was like, and so, Wendy, it's important for you to do what I'm doing right now, which is pulling back energetically, consciously, mentally. Breath. You see how I'm slowing down? Because the energy, it's not messy. Your vibration, your mind is, and you have to bring that down. So it's so much fun to be chaos. It's so much fun to be playful. It's so much fun to be childlike. It's so much fun to be upbeat and bubbly, and it's so fun to be curious, and it's so fun to be open. Now, as an adult, what we love to do over here is stay. What we love to do over here is have discernment and know when to hone in, when to focus in, and go, okay, hold on. There's some things to be taken care of. Hold the fuck on. I love to play. I love to joke. I love to bounce around. I love to be all of the fun stuff. I love to be the big old kid. But then there's a moment where we got to handle business. And when we got to handle business, lock in. And then once the business is handled, boom, we back to the play. Okay? So, Wendy, we're going to lock in right now and we're going to handle some business. This sounds like a good combo. Sounds like I pulled up at the right time. Absolutely. Now, this is the first thing I want to address, Wendy. 1, open relationship. Yes or no? Quick answer. Open relationship, yes or no? Quick answer. If the answer is yes, then boom, it's yes. Because the answer is no, quick answer, no. That's what it gives. Why are we doing quick answer and not let's think about it? Because 1, we don't need to be thinking about anything. There's no need to sit down and think about stuff. I know that we grow up and our parents tell us, think about it for a second. Take your time, think about it. They tell us that as kids. That's what our parents did too. They thought about things. But ironically, Why the fuck did the world end up how the world ended the fuck up with all of that sitting the fuck down and thinking about it that they did? That's crazy, right? So I don't sit here and want to live a life where I have to sit down and think about things, because clearly that's not the way. And that's not my natural way either, to sit the fuck down and think about things. No. Why would I do that when I have a knowing spirit that already gave me an answer? I'm not going to sit there and question my own spirit. That don't make no sense. Now, we understand, why would you sit there and think about it? Because you want to make a choice where you don't get a certain outcome. That means you're living out of avoidance. We're not here to live out of avoidance of an emotion or an outcome. So with that being said, you don't want to get cheated on. And you making a quick answer, no. That's what your spirit says. No. Your mind says, but wait, let's think about it, because what will he do? Well, my answer is no. So if he cheats, do I want to stay with the cheater? No. Then I'm gone. But then what are we going to do? We will figure it. We'll do what needs to be done if that is the outcome, if he cheats. But I'm trying to handle it before he cheats. Why? We're not living that reality right now. Do you know how much is able to happen in between before he cheats? It's infinite. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We got to let stuff happen. We got to live right now. But the mind is afraid. And so the mind, the ego specifically, not the whole mind, but the ego part of the mind, the learning part of the mind, its role, a part of its role is protection of itself. It doesn't, it doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to hurt. It doesn't want to harm you. It wants to keep your body safe. It feels separate. The ego, the learning mind, it naturally separates itself because it really only exists in a human body, in a conscious body, it only exists as a part of a conscious. The ego is a conscious mind that only exists here. We'll put it like that. Here. The ego doesn't exist anywhere else but here. You understand? And so you understand. The ego only exists here. The moment you become infinite, or the moment you shift from ego to wholeness, or to pure consciousness, you're no longer in the state of having an ego, per se. Okay? I'm using the best language that's coming up. I'm using the language that's coming up right now. So even in this moment, my ego's like, am I saying something that makes sense? And I'm like, girl, you got to move out the way. You got to move out the way. Remember, we don't question ourselves. And she's like, okay. So this learning mind, it only knows so much, yet it wants to perform the best it can. So it's trying to do the most it can. That's not always the best. Sometimes it has to do the bare minimum and be okay with it. Which means, Wendy, sometimes you got to be cool doing the bare minimum and be all right. What does that mean? That means in your relationship, you have to literally sometimes you got to do the most bare minimum thing, which is tell him the answer of, I don't want an open relationship. No. You don't even think about what his response is. You don't think about what he's going to do next. You don't think about what the outcome will be. You don't think about what your daughter's going to have to go through. You don't think about none of that. You just go, no, the relationship with you and I will not be an open relationship. And then you go, what now? And then he makes a choice. And you don't think about what his answer will be. You say, no, I'm just going to say that. And then now it's time for me to figure out what he's going to say. And now this might be a multi-step process where he may take a couple days to respond, or he responds right away. Then y'all have a little tiff, and then you sit back, and then it's like, honey, it might be a little hiccup for a couple days. That could be a thing. But we got to make choices, and then we got to play with the outcomes. Okay? We make choices, we play with the outcomes. But we're not scared of the outcomes. Why? Because we understand that the outcomes are always working in the favor of everybody involved. It's always working for the highest good of everybody involved. Amen. That's what we got to remember. The outcomes are all working for the good of everyone. No outcome is literally trying to make anyone's reality terrible. And I understand that death is a part of the human experience. So sometimes we're trying to avoid death. And we think that's the worst thing. When it's not the worst thing, actually. It's not the worst thing. There is life after death. There is existence after death. Some people may not believe that. And so that will be a whole other can of worms for that consciousness. But it doesn't take away from the fact that someone might not believe in something, and yet it still might be so. Amen. Someone could believe you don't deserve money, and it doesn't take away from the fact that you still got it, though. You still get it. Someone may not believe that you deserve to have the status or the position in life that you have, or the role that you have, or the access that you have, or the platform. It doesn't take away from the fact that you still have it, though. It just is what it is. Okay? So I was just talking to a man a couple days ago who did not believe that you could talk to the dead. And he was like, where I come from, we don't do that. We can't do it. And I said, just because where you come from, you can't, doesn't mean that there are people who could. I said, have you tried? He goes, no, we don't do it where I'm from. I said, have you tried? He said, no. I said, great. Well, that's why you don't know it to be true. You have not done it. I didn't tell him that I talked to the dead because I didn't feel the need to defend myself, nor did I feel the need to give him the opening to potentially even ask me to perform the action, because I don't have time for that. But I did need to teach him the lesson, which is you're saying something ain't possible because you and your family can't do it and have not done it. That is not the equivalent to it's not possible. There's a difference. And he's like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, it's all right, baby. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. There's things you don't know how to do and ain't never heard of. But because you don't go places where people do it and you too scared to try, doesn't mean that people can't do it and it's not possible. And he's like, I never fathomed that. So, and maybe telling your inner child, let's say you keep thinking about what social media says about studies about men and how they love, and maybe telling my inner child the love I dreamt of isn't real. I was like, is it, or was it an illusion, like gathering data to support an outcome almost? Okay, so the thing is this, Wendy, that whole mess there, I'm gonna call it a mess. The whole thing about people doing studies about men and how they love, scratch that. Honestly, scratch that shit. Throw it in the trash, because everybody's different. You can't do a study on men and it be accurate. Every man is different, and men is a construct. So whoever the fuck is doing that little thing, whatever that is, they're doing things based off even a rigid because that's void of spirit entirely. That's void of spirit entirely. You're going to get yourself in a can of worms that you don't want to get in. Throw it out. So, Wendy, this is the thing. I'm going to talk about your relationship here. Wendy, you're a grown-ass woman, okay, with a baby. You're a grown-ass woman, a mother, a person, right? This is the thing. You don't want an open relationship, so that's one. Write that down on a piece of paper. You don't want no open relationship. You don't want an open relationship. That needs to be communicated to your man, period. Scratch. So that's just docket 1. That needs to be communicated. And if you don't communicate it, that's on you. But that's 1. He needs to know you don't want an open relationship. Period. Just get that off the table. Okay? Now, 2. Now this is the next thing. You have a fear that he might cheat. This is a trust issue, right? This is a trust issue. A trust issue, right? Now, and so this is the thing. 2, you need to communicate with him. I have a boundary. And a boundary is going to be for you, Wendy. This is where you decide, Wendy. If I was cheated on, this is my boundary. This is actually a standard. This is a standard. If I'm cheated on, I leave. If I'm cheated on, I'm leaving. It's also a boundary. If my man cheats, I'm out. That's not what I'm doing. Your boundary would actually be, he cheated on me and I'm not accepting it at all. My boundary is not no cheating. So my standard is, you cannot be a cheater. That's my standard. You cannot be a cheater. I don't accept that. My boundary is, you even cheat once, I'm out. Or if you cheat and you cheat twice, I'm good. You know, whatever that will be. But this is something where you got to set it with yourself. Amen. And then it's communicated to your partner. So the expectations are already set, or the rules are already set. So that way, how do I put this? He can have accurate expectations, which is, if I cheat on her, I know she's leaving. And that's just that on that. So if he decides to cheat, he understands what's going to be the outcome of that if you find out, or if he tells you. Amen. This is communication that just has to happen in the relationship. It's just communication. Period. Amen. Without the communication, you're in a relationship by yourself. And that's pointless when you have a partner. You have a relationship with you, that's one thing. You also have a relationship with your partner. You don't want to be in a relationship with your partner by yourself. Then you're taking away their sovereignty in the relationship. You're taking away their ability to connect with you. You're taking away, quite literally, the relationship part of the relationship. Now, I also want to share this with you, Wendy. Energetically, I'm picking up on, and I pick up that you like him. Like, you like the man. For whatever reason, you like him. You like him. That's okay. Like, that's okay to like him a lot. Amen. It's okay to like him. And Wendy, I'm telling you this because I'm picking up on an energy that says, honey, I think that if he cheats, I might stay. Bitch, I might stay, girl, to be honest with you. And I might be like, well, who is she? Let me meet her. Because maybe we could come to an agreement that, well, it could be open with just her. So no more than her. And dead ass, Wendy, if that's how you feel a little bit, that's okay. You're a grown ass woman. So what I want you to understand here, Wendy, is now we're going back to the beginning, what I felt. There's an opportunity here, Wendy, for you to grow. Because, Wendy, there's a part of you that is not definite leaving if he cheats. There is a part of you that loves this man and that loves this man so much that, real talk, you don't want the relationship to end off of some goofy shit like he cheated. He was curious about something. He showed me he was curious because I caught it. And then we talked about it. He told me it was a fantasy. He let me know what his fantasies are. This is why you need to get to know your partners as people, amen, and as friends. What are your fantasies? What are your dreams? All of those things, right? But he let you know what his fantasy is. He's living a whole life on this planet as a human. If he never lives out that fantasy because he's in a relationship, that sucks. That relationship is now a prison. Do you want to be a prison? Do you want to be the equivalent to prison bars for his life? Do you want to hold him back from doing the things in life that he wants to do? Because if you really like him, if you really love him, and you want him to have what's best for him, then what he likes and what he's curious about and fantasizes about, you will be hands off and be like, go do it. It's fine. Go do it. I like you. I fuck with you. Go do it. And this is some Age of Aquarius relationship type shit. This is, I'm not trying to be your prison. And so because you don't want him doing it behind your back, this is where the conversation has to happen, where you let him know your expectations and you let him know your rules. So you let him know, hey, look, I would love for us to be together to the end of motherfucking time. And I understand that I don't want to be your prison. So there's things you're curious about, things you're going to want to do, things you're going to want to tap into and try, whether it's with a boy, a girl, a he, a her, a them, a they, a us, a we, maybe both of them in the same body. It doesn't matter. I just want you to tell me before you do it. Let me know what's going down so I can prepare my nervous system for what the fuck is going on, because I'm going to pick up on the energy. And I would love for you to live the life that you want to live. And a part of that is me also understanding that you're not doing no sneaky shit. So do what you want to do. But even if you just send me a quick text, hey, babe, I just met this girl right now. We've been flirting. I'm about to eat her coochie. I'm just letting you know. I'm literally right now at her house about to put her lips on my lips. And I'm not talking about the ones on her face. Just giving you a heads up. And then you're like, okay, cool. You know, bet. Don't bring nothing home that ain't supposed to be in the house. Amen. That lingers. Amen. Period. Be respectful. Period. Okay, record it for me. I just gave it to you right now. And it's important, Wendy, that you deliver it to him in your words, in your voice, because even if you're shaking, it's not about saying the right thing. It's about saying what's real. And so your body needs to feel you come up with your version of what I said, so that way you grow and you overcome the vibrational dissonance. Hi, Tiffany. So that way you overcome the vibrational dissonance of speaking your truth. If I give you the right words to say, your truth still isn't being spoken. It's still being filtered through my mouth. And you don't want to give him me. You want to give him Wendy. You don't want to give him Wendy through honey. You want to give him Wendy or Raquel or Ambi, whichever one. Amen. You want to give him the different versions of you, not the different flavors of honey. Amen. Because he's not in a relationship with me. I don't know him. Not yet, at least. Although we will connect still. We will connect still as a group, but we'll talk about that. Now, this is the other thing, Wendy. This is the other thing. There's an opportunity for growth here, in addition to you communicating about the open relationship. What you like. What do you like? What would you like? Because in this relationship, there's something, Wendy, you're not getting out of the relationship. And I know you don't want him to do certain things, but Wendy, there's a piece that says, what do you like? What do you want out of this relationship? Or who do you want Wendy to be even in this relationship? And letting her come forward. Because the opportunity, Wendy, that I'm seeing here is the woman that you become. Being in a power that says, I'm with the type of man that I love to be with. He respects me. He values me. He shows up for me. But that's because I told him what I wanted. I tell my man what I like, and he honors my shit. I tell him who I am, and he respects who I am. You're such an open person, but you want more romance and pleasure from him, and then he can have. Okay, there we go. Me the prize and be free. Okay, period. Wendy, that needs to be communicated. That needs to be communicated now to yourself. Because when you want more pleasure and more romance, hi poetic, when you receiving more pleasure and romance from him, it comes with you communicating. I know in relationships, people like to say, I want them to just do it. Bitch, ain't nobody reading your motherfucking mind, girl. This is not what it's giving. If you want that, bitch, then go be Charles Xavier and Jean Grey and y'all can fuck each other, bitch, and telepathically talk. But over here, girl, we open our mouths, okay? And we say, babe, I need you to eat my coochie today. Babe, while you eat my coochie, can you eat it like this? Babe, I want you to hit it from the back. No, not the cat. I want you to go to the back. And then you go, this is how I want you to do it, okay? Babe, I want you to, I want to have, hey babe, I want pleasure from you today in the form of a massage. Can you give me a massage today? Or can you give me a massage this week? Oh, you're busy? Okay, well, when do you feel will be, can I ask you again tomorrow? Can I just ask you, can I keep asking you until you're in alignment? Okay, cool. Well, babe, if you don't give me the massage, I do want to be rubbed down, but I want to be rubbed down by you. Do you really feel aligned with even rubbing me down at all? Like, is that something you would like to do? You know, is that something that you feel like you would enjoy? And you have that conversation with him. But this is where you got to communicate. These are the ways I love to receive pleasure. And this is how I would like to be pleasured. This is where you communicate with him. And the thing is this, even if you're angry, it doesn't mean that you're mad at him. Okay? Feeling anger and communicating with an angry tone doesn't mean I'm mad at you. It doesn't mean that I'm angry with you. I could just be feeling anger. He doesn't really eat coochie, so I get mad. I'm like, maybe have someone else do it, but tell him. Well, the thing is this, hey Brianna, if you want your coochie ate, but you want him to eat it specifically and he does not do that, then you got to accept that you're with a man that doesn't do that and you don't want to force him to do that. That just means y'all are incompatible. But if you just want your coochie ate, then you're like, and to be honest with you, if it's not him, I want somebody eating it. Then it gives, just go get somebody else to do it. And just say, babe, I want you to know that I like getting my coochie ate and I respect that you don't do it, but I like it happening. So I'm going to go get someone else to do that. And they'll specifically be there just to eat my coochie. I will make, that's the boundary. The boundary is he can only eat my coochie. And are you okay with that? You know, and then this is again the conversation. And this may sound ridiculous or seem crazy, but quite literally, this is maturity. This is relationship. This is grown-ups being together. Because otherwise, we're really just acting like kids in a relationship doing the same shit we did when we were 13, 14, 15, and 16. Just saying yes to anything and not communicating what the fuck we want. Or pretending like we know something or grown and just unsatisfied. Hell nah. We're grown. We can talk. It's okay. So you gotta, this is, and especially if you're in a marriage and shit like that too, this is where you talk. You say what you want. You know what I mean? You can't be satisfied in the relationship if you don't say nothing. You know what I mean? And so again, Wendy, this is the opportunities for you to grow in your relationship and really embody that grown-ass woman that you want to embody, girl. And get what you want out of life itself. Because this isn't just in the bedroom with your man. This isn't just in your marriage with your husband. This is also in life itself. Okay? I hope you're taking notes over there, girl. Now, that's the last thing that really came through for me. Wendy, that's the last thing that came through for me. You gotta communicate with your partner the stuff that you want. That's given grown ass, mature ass woman. Hey, Peach. I feel like Peach will love this conversation too. And really understand this. When you say you want romance as well, Wendy, from your man, communicate to him what romance looks like to you. Give him a picture. Paint the picture. Again, I know some people be wanting folks to read their mind, but if that's the case, go fuck on Professor Xavier, bitch. If not, open your mouth and communicate. Babe, I want romance. Romance to me looks like this. And then ask him, are you in alignment with that? Is that some shit you like to do? Do you fuck with it? Because if he don't fuck with it, you have two options. You have a multitude of options. But this is the thing. If he don't fuck with it, ask yourself, are you cool with him not fucking with that? Because you're not going to force him to, and you're not going to make him do it. This means you're going to take ownership of that responsibility, and you're going to give yourself that romance. And that's what you're going to do anyway when he's not in a mood. Because you handle that need on your own. You handle that desire on your own. But then this is the other thing as well. This is the other thing. If he's not in alignment with it and you're not cool that he don't do that thing and you're like, but I want a man that does it, then you and that man are not in alignment and y'all done. Because boom, this is something you want, something you desire. Why settle? There's a whole bunch of dudes out there. A whole bunch. And if you're like, but damn, we got kids already, we married, you know, am I supposed to just end it off that? It's not off just that, meaning the situation. You're ending it based off of the fact that there is a misalignment with you being satisfied in the relationship, because what you desire is quite literally not going to be provided. And you already know this because clearly this person already says they don't do something and they're not going to be doing that. And you know you're not going to force them to do it. And they're not going to grow and become a person that does that thing. That's not natural. That's not a thing that they do. And again, we already talked about you not being a prison for the dude in the for anybody. You're not trying to be anybody's prison. There's an openness here. And there is also a desire for the person to be in the relationship authentically. Again, we're in an age of Aquarius. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be learning lessons about being in a relationship in a mature way, where you're not just accepting any old fucking thing. You're also being open to communicate the way you want your pussy ate. Say something, you know, don't just be accepting any old thing. Let him know how you want it fingered. Let him know how you want it eaten. Let him know how you want him to dig up in it. You know, if you want to also be like, let me see what you're working with. Let me see how you do what you do. And then I could also learn some things that maybe I do enjoy that I didn't realize I enjoyed. That's cool as well. But what do you want? And let him know. Because the thing is, if you want to be surprised, let yourself be surprised too. But say those things because you get to. Otherwise, you kind of just being that traumatized little girl that had somebody all up in her kitty box and she felt like she had to just agree and say yes to any and every old thing because she didn't know. You grown now and you know. So you get to say something. So that way you could get what you want. And this is healing for the body. It's healing for the mind, the soul, and every other motherfucking ancestor that came before you that didn't get a chance to communicate how she wanted her kitty tapped, how she wanted her DJ scratched. Amen. So let's not repeat nothing. Let's grow. Let's grow. And also communicate with him as well. Ask him those questions. Babe, how you want your little wee-wee, tickled? You like me to play with the boys? You know, what do you want me to poke you? You like to be poked? Do you maybe want me to do a little pricky prick? You know, do you like toys? Like, quite literally, this communication is important, because this is how you build a relationship. Remember, the relationships we desire are not picked at the club. You don't just say, I like you, you like me, you're cute, I'm cute. I like your body, you like my body. I like your mind, you like my mind. We together, let's get married, boom, it's done. Baby, that's not even the tip of the iceberg, girl. That's a little puff of smoke. Amen. That's a little hint of the snow. That's just a little dust. We got to talk about also, how do you like to be touched? Where do you want me to touch you at? Do you have any parts of your body that are sensitive? In what ways are they sensitive? What do you feel when I touch you like that? When I touch you like that? Amen. We got to have these conversations, hi Zen, because this is where you get to the part of really watering the seed of the relationship. Come on, Riri. Learning somebody, quite literally. That's what the relationship is. You're quite literally, hey, April, getting to learn this person. That's what the relationship is for y'all to really like nurture this kinship, nurture this connection, nurture. This is how you build your vessel that is going to travel and be known as your relationship. Amen. You were afraid of soul ties. If opened, it as well. The thing is this, Wendy, all of those fears, this is what you get to have as courage opportunities in the relationship. There are certain fears that you have, and it's okay to be afraid. What is not okay is it's okay for you to be afraid. End of sentence. When you desire to live a life of courage, you need to understand that you're going to have opportunities for courage that are going to come with fearful experiences. So I would love to be courageous and never be afraid of, I would love to be courageous in my relationship and have a relationship with somebody who I'm thriving with mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Great. Well, you're afraid of them meeting someone that they may like better than you. Okay, well, great. We're going to go ahead and get in a relationship with someone that we really do fuck with. And then we're going to live the opportunity or live the situation where we have to then open the relationship because he has fantasies and I'm not going to be his prison. So baby, go live your fantasies and understand that I'm going to also live mine, not out of retaliation, but simply because, bitch, let's live our fucking fantasies because we got a whole fucking life together, bitch, and 80 years in a goddamn marriage and we don't get to do all the things we want to do in life sounds like hell. And let's not do that. And so then we go do that, but you might meet another love of your life, another soulmate, and that scares the fuck out of me, bitch, and makes me feel like I might get jealous, but I'm having a courage opportunity, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Understanding that there's possibilities that I might not like, but there is opportunities that I know I'm a love, which is to be fucking courageous. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to live a life of avoidance, so I'm not going to avoid the opportunity to be courageous because I'm trying to avoid my dude end up falling in love with somebody else and liking them more than they like me. Because I'm going to go ahead and heal that inner child that dealt with pain all the time because her father always chose other homes over her and kept cheating on her mama and was never around. And so she never got to hang out with her daddy, which was the coolest dude that she knew. So now we're going to deal with that abandonment wound by saying, okay, cool. I'm afraid he might leave me because he likes somebody else more than he likes me. I'm going to go deal with that risk. I'm going to go take that risk because I want to be courageous. And I understand courage ain't coming from me sitting in the house hiding under my blankets. No. I'm going to go fall in love somewhere and then take the risk. Maybe the motherfucker might. Who knows? But shit. At least I ain't hiding under the blankets. Hot as hell, sweating like a motherfucker. Amen. Because if you're not going to be on earth growing and shit, changing, well, what you in the body for? Going through all this goddamn discomfort. dealing with Trump. Like, girl, the hell? Hey, man, eating poisoned apples. Like, the fuck? You might as well get something out of this. You might as well get something out of this, girl. Otherwise, it's a real high cost. It's a very high cost, girl. It's a very high cost. You might as well get something out of it. Okay. Wendy, that's all I got for you right now, babe. That's really the tea. Is there anything you need me to touch up on? Are we clear? Can we close? You Gucci? Amen. Now, I'm going to close with this, Wendy. Remember, there's things that you need to communicate with him. So although we had this reading and we had this talk and this conversation, it don't stop here just because we came to some conclusions. There's still work to do on your part. So there's conversations that need to be had. Don't let 2 weeks go by and you ain't told this man some of these things and you ain't started to open up about these things. Because otherwise, what the fuck were we doing? Amen. Otherwise, this was pointless. Otherwise, this was a waste. Otherwise, this is boring. Amen. The fun happens with you doing your part, and then you get to come back and we're like, okay, girl, what happened, girl? Tell me the tea. Now let's move. Now we could get somewhere. Now we could be on a journey together. Amen. You're about to do it in a few minutes. Haha, don't worry. Okay, period. There we go. That's what the fuck we talking about. Now we can get somewhere, girl, because now I can help you get somewhere, bitch. Otherwise, girl, we just ducks sitting in the motherfucking ocean in the middle, girl. Ain't going nowhere. That's a mess. Okay, cool. Period. Hey, boo. Okay. Amen. Well, energy. Okay. Wendy, your energy is yours always. My energy is mine always. And we close with unconditional love for the whole self. And so it is Ashe and amen. Period. By Sam. Woo. We like it, honey. I love it. I love it, bitch. You ate that, honeybee. Thank you so much, Brianna. I really did. I'm really good at this. Like, I'm really by massage. LOL. That was fun. Period. And this is the thing, too, though, you guys. When you're in a relationship and you discover, I really like this, I'm with a partner who does not or won't do this or does not do this or doesn't naturally do this, it opens up an opportunity for them to discover something they may like. Maybe your partner doesn't give massages. And then you're like, babe, can I ask you, are you just not interested in doing it? Or are you self-conscious about doing it? Maybe you don't know how to give massages, or maybe you don't feel confident touching a body gently, or maybe you don't feel like you'll be able to deliver fulfill what's being asked of you. Maybe you don't feel confident that you would or that you could do a good job. Maybe you feel insecure about the way that your hands are. You know, this is where you get to communicate and give them an opportunity. And if they're like, I just genuinely don't care about giving a motherfucker a massage. Like, if you want a massage, I'll pay for you to go get one. And you could get the sexiest dude to do it. And this is where it's like, oh, okay, cool. And if you're like, but I really want my man to do it. This is where you ask yourself, does it have to be your man? Or do you just want to be rubbed down? Like, are you trying to have foreplay is what you're talking about? Like, and then you get into some things where you're like, you know what? It doesn't have to be my man. I had a fantasy, and the fantasy was my man would rub me down, and after I have this really good rub down, you know, he starts going down on me down there, and then next thing I know, he flips me over like gently and stuff like that, and then he's eating it from there, and then I swing my leg back around, and then next thing you know, we both on the table, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, what movie did you watch that you saw a couple having that experience? And it made you feel something in your body that you thought, I want to recreate it because I think I would have fun doing it with my dude. And then maybe you'll realize, oh, it doesn't have to be my man. It just has to be someone who I'm attracted to and connected with. Oh, well then great. Go get some masseuses to give you massages and ask who gives the happy ending. Or let them know what your fantasy is and if they're up for it. And then communicate those things. And then go get what you want that way. And then also have your man. Period. Bust down. This is how we literally come into fruition with our dreams and our fantasies and our goals and our desires. Period. Okay, but what about before the relationship though? What's your question? Before the relationship, what? Because even before the relationship, honestly, all of this stuff can be talked about before you get in the relationship. This means when you're just dating. Okay, I gotta get ready to go. Even when you're just dating, when you're just talking to each other. Even that. Like, okay, cool. We're just taught specifically, I just met a man who I see at the gym and I just have this feeling. Oh, this is my forte. Hi, Elaine. When you see a man or when you see about him, but I don't know how to go about it. This is my suggestion. Take it with a grain of salt. You see him again. Do you have the same feeling? Let's say you do. And you're like, I got the feeling again, honey. Great. Go up to him. Hi. My name's Riri. What's your name? What's your name? Is he even open to giving you his name? He tells you his name. Period. Then you tell him the truth. I've seen you a couple times at this gym. And I just have this feeling in my body. You, me, something. What's in between, we can co-create because I'm not here to dictate your script. But I got a feeling though. I got a feeling up in my soul. And so I have to come over and say something. So this is me saying something. What kind of feeling you feeling? Personality. Communication, authenticity, truth, realness, vulnerability. What does he say? What's his response? We find out. We don't script it. We find out. We find out. And we're like, oh my God, here we go. Here we go. Vulnerability, that's the gag. Now, this is the thing, Riri. If you're choosing to be in any sort of connection with another human being, actually, if you're choosing to be in any sort of connection with any other sentient being, vulnerability is required for openness, for exchange, for authenticity, for connection, for truth, for realness, for heart. Vulnerability is required. So if you're not willing to be vulnerable here, where are you willing to be vulnerable? You may find where it is that you're also closed off. That's important because there's a type of relationship you desire or a type of connection you desire, and you're going to know exactly why you don't have it. There's somewhere you're closed off. So if there's a fear, it's just a fear, but you have an opportunity for courage. Let's tap in. I'm talking to myself too right now because I be attracted to dudes all the time and I say nothing. And I say nothing. I look, I give the look, I give the vibe, I give the thoo-doo-doo-doo-doo, I give the come over here type of thing. But I don't always go over there and say exactly what I want to say. Not always. Nope. Nope, not always. I'll be like, come on. Communicate. Say something to me. And it's given, honey, you say something. You say something. You want it. Like, why do you have to say it? Because it's going on your plate. If you're at a restaurant and I come over as your waiter and I say, hello, here's the menu. What would you like? And you look at the menu and put it down and look at me. I'm going to go, what would you like? And if you just looking at me, I'm going to be like, is something wrong with this bitch? Why the fuck doesn't her mouth work? The fuck she think I am? Professor Xavier? Jean Grey? Who sat her? Did she tell you that she had a party of one? Does she speak? You know what I mean? How am I supposed to take her order? How do I take her order? I don't know. She's not even pointing at the menu. I don't know. You know what I mean? So the reason why you got to say something is because you want something. Because I know I can be very intimidating, but expect for everyone to say something, not me. The thing is this, Riri. You find people intimidating. You find situations intimidating. When you think that you're intimidating or you believe you're intimidating, it's because yourself is also believing yourself is intimidating, which means you're intimidated by the version of Riri that shows up getting what the fuck she wants. Because there's a version of Riri that walks over to that man at the gym and slaps him on the ass and say, hell yeah, you better be over here looking the fuck good like that. I want you in my motherfucking coochie, and I want you in my coochie tonight, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, we could go right into the restrooms right now, into a little gender neutral restroom because it's spacious up in there. And you could fuck me to Pound Town. Amen. You could sexy red this motherfucking red down here because it's not my time yet. I still got 2 more days before I start. So what you want? You want to eat it before it turn red? You want to eat it before this shit turn to Kool-Aid? Amen. You want to mix this Kool-Aid together, girl? What you want? Hi, cat. And then you're like, honey, no shade. I would really say it like that. There's a part of me that feels the best saying it like that. Amen. I know. Give him that. He would probably laugh and be like, you're the funniest. And to be honest, hell yeah, if I didn't have a girl. If I didn't have a girlfriend, no shade. I'll slang this meat on you right now. I'll knock you out like a barbecue. I'll knock you out like a barbecue. You want to catch this rib? Because it's definitely not a drumette. Whoo! Listen, I will turn that thing like a corn on a cob. Now y'all flirting and having banter and tickling and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, so honestly, how do you approach it? I'm not the expert, but I got some ideas. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's just giving, go get what you want. And if you're not gonna go get what you want, then what are you doing what are you doing on Earth? If you're not gonna go get what you actually want, what are you doing on Earth? Just walking around window shopping? Girl, when was that ever fun? That's fun once or twice, to be honest. But after the second time, it's giving, bitch, I see you in the window lurking, baby. Come in the store and buy a t-shirt or something. Amen. Come and place an order. Do you need some money? How much you need, girl? I'll give you some money, but you got to come into the store and purchase something, girl, because you're always looking in the window. And at this point, it's just getting a little sad for me and the staff. Seeing you in here every day, not placing no orders. And at this point, babe, we're tired of seating you at this motherfucking restaurant and you don't order nothing. And we know you hungry, girl. You frail. I can see your ribs, girl. You looking like one of them commercials. You looking like one of them commercials. Bitch. Okay, y'all. My spirit spirit keeps telling me to get my ass on up out of here. Okay. Feed them children. Look, bitch, okay? Period. Okay, period. Come on, in the arms of an angel. Okay, I love you guys so much. If you guys want to tip or donate, I would greatly appreciate any tips or donations that you guys would love to deliver. I say and amen, period, bust down. I accept Cash App. I accept Venmo, PayPal. I have a virtual tip jar. If you guys are wanting to book a session with me, the link tree is in my bio, period. I say and amen. Yeah, I thank you guys for today. I think this was a really fun live. I think this was really cool. I think we had a really good time here. Honestly, I think I want to post this actually, I want to post this one too. So if you guys were here yesterday, the live replay is already up. It's on YouTube. This live replay will also be posted. This live replay will also be posted on YouTube as well. I'll do it later on though. It'll be up there tomorrow. I love you guys so much. I thank you guys so much. This has been really fucking cool. Let me know how it goes, Riri. Ashe, we'll be here tomorrow doing readings in the morning and stuff. So, we'll be here tomorrow. We'll know what time, but we'll be here tomorrow. Your energy is yours always. My energy is mine always. We close with unconditional love for the whole self, and so it is. Ashe and amen. Period. Bust down. If somebody wants to buy me a drink tonight, please, girl, send me $20. Just a cute little tip, so I could get me a bottle of wine. Okay. Thank you so very much. A couple bottles. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya. Thank you, guys.